for their Ulster Championship clash with Tyrone. Perhaps their eyes lie on that, but for the next 70 or so odd minutes, Kerry will be hoping to put in a performance, as indeed will a lot of these fringe players for Donegal.
There's quite a lot at
gets
stake.
us underway.
And
it's a beautiful sunny afternoon in Austin Stacks Park in Tralee. Kerry playing in the blue jerseys this afternoon. Donegal in their traditional green and gold. And Kerry have won a free straight away, and an opportunity for Sean O'Shea to take this one. Sends in towards the danger man Clifford. Back again, the hand pass goes, and Kerry holding it up on the 45. Playing this ball low inside now. Gathered there.
Building slowly. They were very
pass
impressive
back across the centre now, being brought
Monaghan.
forward by David Moran. Moran kicks this with the right boot, sends it in and sends it over the crossbar. What a start, 30-odd seconds gone of the opening half, just the start Kerry would have wanted.
Yeah, great start from Kerry, great point by David Moran into that strong wind. Interesting to see Donegal getting a good few bodies behind the ball, so they're going to set up likewise at Kerry.
Sean Patton short to Paddy McGrath, and McGrath in possession of it now for Donegal. There's this one back towards Dara O'Boyle, part of a whole new half-back line for this afternoon's game. None of the three half-backs played in last week's win over Tyrone. Neither did Brendan McCole, who's in the action on that far side now.
Donegal team
McGonigal was part of that starting 15 last week.
And Michael Murphy
this one
down
off,
the middle.
and Donegal just holding it up now. Kerry with 15 inside their own half. And Donegal through Jason McGee looks up for the pass and finds it down that far stand side. A stand that you would have expected to be absolutely packed on a day like today.
Jack McKelvey,
one of the late starters for Donegal, not named to start in the initial 7 changes. 2 more changes before throwing, which means a total of 9 changes from that victory last week for Donegal. And this is Eamon Doherty. Being held up, almost robbed by Ronan Buckley. Good work by him. Dara O'Boyle picks up possession of it again for Donegal.
Another substitute
they're
against
happy enough to go
Tyrone
across on that far side now. Brendan McCole
giving it over to Brendan McCole.
Holding up possession, trying to get inside the Kerry half. They're now inside there, but Kerry almost, a bit like last week up in Monaghan, happy enough to allow the opposition hold on to possession of it, Mark, but just not inside their own half.
Yeah, this is it, and it's very hard to make out who's actually marking who. We do see Tom O'Sullivan and Jamie Brennan, but Tadhg Morley playing that sweeping role, which is going to be a key factor for Kerry today.
Keelan McGonigal did well actually as a substitute
Michael
last
Langan,
week against
getting
Tyrone
much needed game time ahead of championship in this league, latter stages of the league. Down that far side, it's Caelan Ward. Gets the pass away, the Kerry defence holding up strong. And when I say Kerry defence, that's Micheál Burns, that was wearing number 10, that was in front of McGonigal on that far side.
Once but twice.
Donegal have possession of it now, on towards the attacking 45. They've just decided there's one way of scoring points, 3's at your back, and that's to just put the boot to the ball. And I think it is Kieran Thompson who's gotten Donegal's first score.
Ultimately,
good score by Kieran Thompson, and that's the key to beating these blanket defences, long-range kickers. If you can get your long-range kickers in positions like that, you know, especially with the wind that's down there, you'll get scores.
Donegal favoured by the strong breeze, which has just picked up really in the last 20 or so minutes. It was a beautiful sunny morning and afternoon after a lot of heavy overnight rain down this side of the world. Ronan Buckley picks up possession of this for Kerry inside his own half-back line. On comes the on-rushing Gavin White. Plays this ball back now, and Kerry just holding it up, and Dermot O'Connor just almost on the attacking 65. Sean O'Shea has made a run. He's one that Kerry people will be keeping an eye on, certainly over the next couple of years. Back towards Tom O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan under a bit of pressure, 2 Donegal men around him. Well taken away from him by Kieran Thompson, the point scorer, and then just a bit overzealous in the challenge. Free in for Kerry.
Yeah, but fantastic work rate by Thompson. The way he was able to get the tackle in there on Tom O'Sullivan, you can see the physicality, and Sullivan did well to get a free there.
Free is taken, and it's gone backwards from a Kerry point of view. Holding up possession of this one, Dermot O'Connor onto the attacking 65, bouncing the ball. Not really the best of conditions to bounce it on, because as I mentioned, while it is a beautiful sunny afternoon, there's a lot of heavy rain. The pitch is in very good condition, but maybe not just best for bouncing a ball. So Donegal just hand-passing their way out of their own defence now. Under a bit of pressure there was Stephen McMenamin, but comes away with this one.
Tidy corner back.
Bounce back into the hand, and Caelan Ward finds the support.
Nothing new in the modern game.
Michael Langan back in his own half of the field. Donegal with just 2 men now inside the Kerry 45-yard line. So happy enough for the patient build-up. Brendan McCall popped that pass off. Space here for Eamon Doherty, who takes us inside the Kerry half. Just content enough for the slow, patient build-up, and that's again Kieran Thompson who's back there.
He's been in the kingdom of Kerry over the last few days.
To the halfway line. At Donegal, Eamon Doherty. Pass back, looking up for the option now. It's all slow and pedestrian, you'd have to say, so far, as Caelan McGonigal brings this one off as far as Doherty again. That's Caelan Ward, in fact. Pass towards this near side. Michael Langan. Wearing 14, operating around the half-forward line.
Across the field
Darragh Boyle gets the hand pass. On he goes, trying to break through the 45.
They did this
Thompson
last against Monaghan as
Langan
well.
again, holding this one up and being forced back by the 13, 14 Kerry defenders in front of him. Andrew McLean now. Number 19, and he's back, gets the pass away. Rushing on for this one was Jamie Brennan. Peels away and lays it towards Thompson. 1 point to his name. Make that 2 points. That's a super score again from Kieran Thompson. He was under pressure. And a second score for Donegal, both from play and both from the boot of Kieran Thompson.
Yeah, and, you know, they were very patient there, Donegal. You mentioned it yourself, Liam. There's that slow build-up, and it can be frustrating watching it at times, but I mean, they weren't going to give the ball away, and Thompson has popped up for 2 scores now, and he started the game very well.
Characteristic from Shane Ryan there to kick that one just straight out over that far stand sideline. So a line ball going in favour of Donegal. Peter Keane, well, I'm sure he won't be happy with that first kick out, but Kerry are playing against what is a very strong breeze. Donegal favoured by it here in the opening half, and Eamon Doherty has it now on the halfway line.
Kieran Thompson.
Pass finds Jake McKelvey.
Back to
Caelan McGonigal now, holding up possession of it. Skips past the attempted challenge of his opposite number, David Moore, and that's well won there and brought forward again towards McKelvey. Gets the pass away.
Back over,
and this one is Jason McGee holding up possession of it. Donegal players now beginning to come forward in numbers. That's Brendan McCall, number 3, and he's back. Has he judged that one right? He hasn't. It's gone right and wide. First wide of the game goes the way of Donegal.
Yeah, but you know, Donegal have topped up now on 3 occasions, kicking 3 long-range kicks, and very unlucky there from Brendan McCall. But Kerry, you know, they started slowly. Shane Ryan, poor kick out, the last good kick out there, but Kerry need to move the ball from defence into attack a lot quicker. That transition needs to be a lot quicker, and that ball has to be kicked through the lines. What we see at the moment is just fist passing to each other, holding possession. That ball needs to go quicker.
Ronan Buckley won that off towards Sean O'Shea, finds himself back in the half-back line. Numbers I think mean very little, certainly inside the opening 8 minutes of this game, as that's Ronan Buckley, 12 in his back. Sends it into space on that far side, and there's an ocean of Austin Stacks Park in Tralee for Tyke Morley to run into, which is exactly what he's doing. On his bike he goes off towards Gavin White, finds himself forward, pulled down, says the referee.
Very impressive footballer last week and over the league campaign.
Why Jason Foley, Thomas Sullivan, Paul Murphy, named in the backs last week, all got on the score sheet because everybody swings forward for Kerry. David Clifford's pass, not the best on that occasion. Seems to be human after all, but picks up possession of it again. Moves one way then the other, gets the pass away. This might work out for Brosnan. Gets the effort in and sends it over the crossbar. Initial mistake, as we saw there, it was Darren Moynihan with the point. It was initially lost by Clifford, did well to win it back. And there you see the jinking skills that he has after Darren Moynihan. Level game, 2 points apiece.
Yeah, a moment of magic there again from David Clifford, where he lost possession but won it back again, and just the close control that he has, fantastic, and his awareness to bring other players into the game. Great score by Darren Moynihan.
Fantastic to see a player like David Clifford in prime of his career.
Yeah, and you know, we know how good he is kicking the ball and his skill set. We've always spoken about that. But for me, the great players, I spoke before the game about his temperament, which is absolutely outstanding, and a player for the big occasion, but also his ability to see other players and bring them into the game. That's something that I think sets him from other players.
Donegal had a line ball, and Darragh Boyle pops this one towards Eamon Doherty down that far side. And Donegal again looking for this slow patient build-up with Jason McGee. Adds a bit of space towards Caelan Ward. Looks up for the option And again, Kerry with plenty numbers back there.
Spreading it out wide.
Popping this one towards the far side. It's all very tight and congested. Just midway between the 45 and 21, if you like. And then just between the 21 and the end line, just 2 players and the goalkeeper. So it's all compacted as Kieran Thompson has possession of this one. Opts to flight this one along inside now towards Langan. Puts up the fist, breaking down inside there. That might work if there was a different 14 inside there for Donegal, but Murphy not even named on the match day squad, their main man inside there ahead of that championship tussle next weekend as Kerry through Ronan Buckley popped this ball back to David Moran. 1 point to his name so far in this game.
Ease, I have to say.
The first score of the game.
This try man doing well.
Like an age ago now, 10.5 gone. Level at 2 points apiece, and it's all very tense and tight at the moment. As this one again in the hands
going on his shoulder
of Kerry as they come forward with this one. As Jason Foley just dispossessed, and now what can Donegal do as they turn defence into attack? As Langan brings this one forward, pops this one in towards Caelan McGonigal. Will he reach it? McGonigal, brilliant from Diarmuid O'Connor. Just got enough of a hand in there in order to take it away. Brilliant skill.
Yeah, we see the physicality again of Donegal in attacking Jason McGee, ripping the ball away from the Kerry player there. No fair play to Diarmuid O'Connor for getting back, but it's very much a game of chess out there at the moment. 2 teams not wanting to make any mistake, holding possession. We see the 2 sweepers, the 2 fullbacks, Brendan McCall and Tyke Morley. So it's very much, I think what we'll need to see is players of the calibre of Gavin Hoyle breaking that line.
Good ball
Sean
inside.
O'Shea in towards Clifford, looking to get him into the action as Clifford on the edge of the semicircle just opts to take the shot, but into the breeze. It's held up by the goalkeeper.
No criticism of the
and Donegal again building this one from inside their own half as Jason McGee on the 45 pops the pass away. What can Donegal do here? A bit of space opening up here in front of Jake McKelvey, holding it up, and not quite sure if that was a legitimate hand pass. Let's go like that to Oisín Gallen, but Gallen wins a free just on the halfway line. I think it was more a case of McKelvey dropping the ball and Gallen picking it up as Jason McGee now pops this one towards the far side. Nervy start and tentative start from both sides, as you say, Mark.
Yeah, both sides, you know, they're holding possession, making mistakes as well, which you see just again there now from Donegal. But it's very much tit for tat, as you say.
Sean O'Shea
wanting to make mistakes.
Playing this one forward, just quite not on the same wavelength as Tony Brosnan on that occasion, and Paddy McGrath
didn't work out.
says thank you very much, sweeps that up and off towards McKelvey near side. Donegal looking to start from well inside their own half again. That's Michael Langan off again towards McKelvey. Pass back to Langan. All again. Very slow and all very just ponderous, I suppose, from a Donegal point of view, as Brendan McCall holds this one up off towards Caelan Ward. Thought about taking on Sean O'Shea, but that particular avenue was cut off by O'Shea going up that far sideline. Dara O'Boyle holding on to it.
Both teams starting off
still in possession.
Tentatively.
There's this one
retaining possession
towards
seems
that
to be the
far
first
side of the field.
And only priority.
McKelvey
not giving the ball away.
Pops this one off now.
So most of this game is being played towards between the 2 45s.
This is Jason McGee. Down to that far side of the field it goes, and picked up there by Brendan McCall. Lays this one forward towards Eamon Doherty. On it goes towards Doherty. Might break past him, and Michael Langan is out in front of his man, Tyke Morley, to pick up possession of that. Now towards Kieran Thompson. 2 points to his name so far, both from distance. Brilliant block down there.
Rebound,
but it's still in the hands of Andrew McLean.
Andy McLean
pops this pass back now, and Donegal through Dara O'Boyle again. Holding up possession just on the 65-yard line.
Number 17, there he is.
Towards Jake McKelvey. Both, as we said, not named to start on the starting 15, but have started as Stephen McMenamin. Pops past the first Kerry line of defence. On towards the attacking 45. It's Thompson again. Pops this ball inside. Breaking ball inside there might work out for Stephen McMenamin, who continued his run forward. The referee said he was pulled to ground. It's going to be a free in. A free going in favour of Donegal.
Yeah, I don't think Kerry would be too happy with the start. Liam, you know, we've seen a lot of mistakes, uncharacteristic mistakes from some of their better players, Shawnee Shea, David Clifford, kicking the ball into the goalie's hands. And I think that the transition, I spoke about it before the game, the transition from the defence into attack is too slow. I think they'll need players of the quality of Gavin White bursting that line, breaking the line.
Jason Foley has just picked up a black card for Kerry, the cornerback.
Jason Foley.
We'll watch that again here as the free is sent in and sent over the crossbar from Oisin Gallen. I didn't think there was too much in that, but have a look at this, Mark.
Let's just watch this again as the ball. There was a hand trick there.
Okay, initially there was possibly a free on him.
Referee saw that as
just
deliberate.
There.
And a black card offence by the right cornerback, Jason Foley.
So there's the water break. The referee has decided we'll take the water break with 15 minutes played of the opening half. Jason Foley Kerry down to 14 men for the vast bulk of the next 10 minutes or so. And as you say, Mark, they haven't started well. They look like the team that have made all the changes from last week, and Donegal seem to have settled the better of the two.
Yeah, you know, Kerry excellent last weekend against Monaghan, started really well. They won't be happy with today, albeit they are playing against a strong wind. I'd like to have another look at that one actually with Jason Foley, because it possibly was a bit harsh. And you know, it's in real time, so it's a hard decision for the referee to do. You know, when you're looking at game time, but it's the ball comes in initially, and I think he gets a bang there, and
I think it's the other angle from behind the goal where we can see perhaps a bit of a hand being thrown back. Here it is. So that's fair enough, and I think just there
he pulls his leg. Yeah, he does. Yeah, no, it's justified. Yeah, so
when you look at the replay,
it's disappointing for Kerry, but Peter Keane will have his troops in there, and they'll be
he wasn't
playing ultra defensive now, I'd imagine, for the next
I don't think he
10 minutes while
connected.
Jason Foley isn't available.
Well, we'll just wait and see what exactly happens. But Donegal, as you mentioned, they'll be happy with how they've started. I know they're playing with a very strong breeze. They have the lead here at the first water break. But for Declan Bonner and co, they'll be very happy with how the first 15 minutes has gone.
They will. And the thing with Donegal as opposed to Kerry is they're not making silly decisions on the ball. We've seen Kerry on a few occasions give the ball away. Donegal are playing that, you know, playing very clever, holding possession. If the pass is on, they're giving it, and also they're getting into good positions to kick long-range points, because, as I said, with the wind that you have, you will kick points from outside the 45 today.
So we're going to resume with a kick out for the Kerry goalkeeper Shane Ryan. All a little bit bunching there, as you see, just on the 45 as Shane Ryan's kick out comes down this near side. Opts to go along with this one, and it will work out. Darragh Moynihan picks it up right beneath us here. That's the pass away and gets the return pass too.
Yeah, that's an excellent kick out there from Shane Ryan. Obviously a training ground exercise for they all coming together.
To Diarmuid O'Connor.
Darragh Moynihan made a great burst there.
Diarmuid O'Connor off towards Tyg Morley. Away he comes now. Back to O'Connor again, looking to start something from well inside their own half. Seems to be even in this few little phases here. There's a bit more urgency in Kerry as Sean O'Shea comes forward with this one.
Murphy's
pops
outside.
This pass off on this near stand side. Back again towards Clifford. Looks up. Holding up possession of it now. Looking for the right pass.
Diarmuid O'Connor.
Finds it from Diarmuid O'Connor. Clifford again. Again, just holding it up, looking for the right option. Doesn't want to give the pass just for the sake of it. Or Kerry, they're just holding on to possession of it and happy enough to try and find that pinpoint perfect pass as Diarmuid O'Connor looks to go back. They've gone back about 20 or 30 yards now.
Work by Thomas Sullivan back into Donegal territory.
Holding it up again, back towards Micheál Burns. Tries to make his way forward as Thomas Sullivan comes forward. Gets a beautiful ball inside. This will be a brilliant goal. Is it going to be a finish? It is. It might have been slow, it might have been patient, but it was worth the finish from Sean O'Shea. Brilliant move by Kerry, and the first goal of the game goes the way of the home side.
Yeah, two great passages of play there. One, the pass by David Clifford to Tom O'Sullivan, and the ability by Tom O'Sullivan to see Sean O'Shea making that run. Great creativity by Tom O'Sullivan and fantastic finish by Sean O'Shea. Just what Kerry needed.
But there just seemed to be a little more urgency from Kerry coming out of the water break.
There was, but you're dead right, and you could see that with Paul Murphy's run down the wing here. But the creativity Tom O'Sullivan showed there for Sean O'Shea, watching him making that run and giving the ball.
Ball on this near side now, and Jake McKelvey. How will Donegal respond to that? Behind again here as McKelvey pops this one off on the near side. Oisin Gallen holding up possession of it and then laying it towards Kieran Thompson. 2 points to his name so far. Pops the pass away again. And that's Gallen bringing this one forward onto the attacking 45, being held up.
Not a great pass.
Back towards Thompson. Gallen again now.
Gallen
coming a bit more into the action now. Dado O'Boyle. Maybe that goal might be just the spark that this game needed in order to lighten up and take off. But
it's following a pattern.
29 players now, I count, inside the Kerry half. The only player not inside the Kerry half as this effort comes in from a long distance, but it goes to the left-hand side and wide. The only player not inside the Kerry half when that attack was going on was Sean Patton, the Donegal goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think unlucky there for Donegal. That should have been over the bar, particularly the space that he had. But as you say, Kerry have started well now in this half, and that's the big thing with the water breaks. I think you always see a shift in the momentum, and it's something that we've all been critical of with the water break.
David Moran, great
introduction.
Brilliant take from David Moran in the middle of the field, and gets the deserved marker forward towards Micheál Burns. Now towards Darragh Moynihan. A bit more like it from what we're expecting from Kerry, as Moynihan down that far side pops this ball back now towards David Moran, who started it with the initial take from the kick out. Off towards Paul Murphy. And a bit of space down this near side, not for the first time in this game, and Tom O'Sullivan exploited it the last time and is going to exploit it again. So he heads towards the attacking 45 and then just decides to hold it up. Gets the pass away towards Brosnan, who turns his man, Paddy McGrath. Still Brosnan now gets the pass away. This is a brilliant movement, and Tom Sullivan puts it over the crossbar as opposed to under it. What a move from Kerry and Tom O'Sullivan, who's instrumental to it in this second quarter.
Yeah, he's been outstanding since the start of the second quarter. And what about the pass from Tony Brosnan when there was a Donegal player coming in, and just the lovely weighted pass that he gave back to Tom O'Sullivan. Great score. The Donegal man has really come out very well in the start of the second quarter.
Sullivan scored 1 point last week and has won again now. Donegal in possession back in the Kerry half back line, but again the numbers are back there, and Tyke Morley it was that picked that one up.
Yeah, great player there as well by Ronan Buckley, getting that ball back for Kerry.
Kerry swarming back now, and this is more like what I'm sure Mark O'Shea and the rest of the Kerry folk that are watching around Ireland and the world today were hoping for. This is more like it, as Micheál Burns pops this one towards the far side, gets the return pass again on the 65, and now down that far side it's that man yet again, Tom O'Sullivan, holding up possession of it, then plays that ball crossing the far side and in front of the shade of the stand. Paul Murphy brings this one forward on towards the attacking 65-yard line, gets the pass away, bursting forward. Gavin White showing his strength there as he just brushes away two challenges from Donegal. Still Gavin White, shot from White. Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Gavin White. He burst past two Donegal players on the way, and when you needed a finish, well, we got it from the wing back. Super goal.
Here by Gavin White.
He was possibly fouled at one stage, and I'm glad the referee didn't blow the whistle, because when you have a player with his explosive pace, you can see what he can do. You saw it last weekend against Monaghan, and to get up the field and get a goal like that, fantastic. And Kerry have really come out of the blocks in the start of the second quarter.
And all of this while Kerry have a man in the black card bin, if you want to call it that, as Michael Langan down that centre of the field. They really, whatever Peter Keane put in the water at the water break has worked, as this one from Jason McGee goes in and goes over the crossbar. Good point from McGee, a much needed one for Donegal, their first one in a while, and that has gone between the uprights, and we're back to a 5-point game. A much needed one from Jason McGee.
Yeah, but the game it's a better game. We're looking at a better game here now. The two teams are actually going for it. I think when a team goes up and gets a goal, all of a sudden the other team have to come out and play.
Here's Gavin White.
The first quarter we saw, I think, what you would call a game of chess. Now we actually see two teams going at it, which is better, and we can see great score there by Jason McGee, because it was all Kerry at the start of the second quarter, and hopefully that will settle Donegal some bit.
Shane Ryan's kick out, the ball just came off the tee as he was just about to put his boot to it, so he continued to play those Darragh Moynihan, and it worked out for Kerry too, as Moynihan plays this one up to Clifford, on towards the 21, gets the hand pass away, numbers everywhere now. Tony Brosnan is through, chance of a goal, goes for the point, does Tony Brosnan. Could have been a hat-trick of goals inside a couple of minutes, but Tony Brosnan takes the sensible option, fine point.
This Allianz League encounter,
he's a man playing with confidence. There was another goal goal-scoring opportunity there. But you know, we've seen what he can do at county championship level, and he's continuing that onto with Kerry team.
6-point lead then for Kerry now, and all of a sudden those couple of goals, Sean O'Shea and Gavin White, have just turned the game pretty much on its head, and now it's a long way back from Donegal, even at this early stage, considering they're playing with the elements in this opening half. Stranger things have happened to Stephen McMiniman. Maybe that'll force Donegal to go a bit more direct as opposed to the over and back. Kieran Thompson, 2 to his name so far, gets the pass away towards Langan. Down that far side of the field, a bit of space opening up, and this is more like what we wanted to watch. But Caelan Ward's ball forward, cut out back there by Morley, who does well for Kerry, and now turns defence into attack fairly quickly. As Kerry yet again down that far side through Darren Moynihan in possession, lays it off towards Clifford, on towards the attacking 45, holding up the Donegal man against him. Clifford, beautiful ball, and that is fisted in and over from Tony Brosnan. What a pass from David Clifford, right into the palms of Tony Brosnan. Beautiful point.
Yeah, and this is more like Kerry now, what we're getting to see in the second quarter. Clifford initially thought about kicking the ball over the bar. I spoke about his awareness to bring other players into. What a pass by him there. And we have another one.
We have from the kick out. It just went into the hands of Tony Brosnan, and Tony Brosnan put that over the crossbar.
3 in a row.
That is now his 3rd point of the afternoon, and well, he's just on fire inside there. And just goes to show, there you see it, kick out intercepted by Brosnan. He put it over the crossbar. When you get ball into the forwards, they do damage, these Kerry forwards.
They do, and the second last score that Tony Brosnan scored, it was from the other end of the field. We saw some great defending by Ty Morley, who started the game very well, beating his man out to a ball, and that's where that play developed.
Kerry really now looking like the team that they were last weekend up in Monaghan. Might have taken them a few minutes to get firing here, but Michael Langan has been fouled down that far side. This is going to be a free, and Kerry now are back to 15 men. All of that, they scored what, 2 goals and 3 points, was it, while they were down to 14 men?
Yeah, absolutely. Blitz Donegal in the last 5-10 minutes, and again, you know, especially with Jason Foley's black card, maybe it was the bolt that they needed, but it's certainly, you know, it looks like a lovely day here, and it is a beautiful day, but there is a very strong wind out there, and for Donegal playing with that wind in the first half, you would expect them to be, if they have a chance in this game, they would need to be at least 3 or 4 times up at half time.
Thompson is going for 3 in a row.
There's an example of the breeze as it's flighted in and over the crossbar from the resulting free, and Donegal have their 5th point, but they need couple more and maybe a green flag or 2 as well in order to raise their hopes a small little bit. 7 points between them now as play to resume with the kick out from Shane Ryan. But that free, I think, just showed the breeze. It just didn't even really need to kick it. The breeze just carried that one.
Yeah, but I think the big difference in this second quarter has been Kerry's efficiency. The way they're moving the ball a lot quicker. They're coming out of defence quicker. There's a bit more urgency about them. And that's what we expect from this Kerry team. And they've been far better in the second quarter. Again, we spoke about the momentum that the water break brings. That has been huge.
It sure has, as Michael Langan has a free for Donegal, midway between the 65 and 45. Looks up for the options there. There isn't too many runners inclined to go. Eventually, Dado O'Boyle is the one that makes his way towards him.
Dado O'Boyle.
Was he fouled by Diarmuid O'Connor? Referee Conor Lane saw nothing wrong with it. Off towards Jason McGee. And McGee from long range puts that between the uprights as well. He's second of the afternoon, both from long range. And Donegal's, most of their scores are coming from long range. That one from Jason McGee.
Yeah, and we heard Rory talk about him before the game and how good he is. Fantastic footballer, and we've seen him there. He's been very industrious during the game. He's kicked 2 points, but it's his work rate off the ball. We've seen him tackling, the physicality he brings. Outstanding kick and a great player.
Kick out yet again from Shane Ryan. That's been picked off the ground. I was just about to say kick outs are working a bit better for Kerry now than they were inside the opening few minutes. And the commentator's course in the mind, Peter Crowley, picked that one off the ground, says the referee. Free going in favour of Donegal, and an opportunity for Kieran Thompson.
Which was obvious.
Slap bang in front of the goals. you would imagine, after the free that he sent from further out a couple of minutes ago. But
2 from play, 1 from a free.
We won't just quite write it down yet, but it should be one that Kieran Thompson will fancy his chances of putting between the uprights. Looks to have made a good connection. The umpires nod at each other. The white flag is raised, and Kieran Thompson has his 4th point of the afternoon. 2 from play, 2 from frees. And Donegal just beginning to come back into it. 2-6 to 7, 5 between them.
Yeah, disappointing. I thought it was a bit harsh on Peter Crowley, but that said, you know, he put the ball down, and you possibly do have to put your leg under the ball, you know, to be seen to be going down.
Here's the goal scorer, Gavin White from Dr. Crooks.
Donegal are coming back into the game, which is a good sign.
Gavin White bursting forward again from well inside his own half, gets the pass away, and this another super run here from Kerry as they turn defence into attack so quickly. Is the result a point? The answer to that is yes, it is. Sean O'Shea, a goal and a point for him, but it's the way the Kerry backs just sweep up the field. Beautiful to see.
Yeah, Paul Murphy left three Donegal players for dead there. But again, it's the urgency that, as you say, that they're bringing out of defence. We see a black card here. Paddy McGrath, is it?
Paddy McGrath, yeah.
Paddy McGrath.
See that again, but again, it's the urgency that Kerry have coming out of defence, and you could see then Sean O'Shea. We talk about Tony Brosnan and Clifford, Sean O'Shea as well, who's been outstanding, and the way he peeled off his man there, and Paul Murphy gave him the ball, and a great point.
It might have been just in the build-up, we think, where Paddy McGrath, the referee, played the advantage. He'll come back to it, and he did. And well, that's the 2 number 2s have been black carded. Jason Foley for Kerry, he's back on, and now Paddy McGrath, the number 2 for Donegal, is down to 14 men. Something in the number 2 today that Conor Lane doesn't really like, it seems, as Kieran Thompson holding up possession now, off towards Stephen McMenamin. Looks to bring this one forward. Up against him there is Sean O'Shea. Not just can he score, he's well able to defend as well. As Kerry bring, or Donegal, Kieran Thompson bring this one forward. Referee said pull down. It's going to be a free on the 45. Diarmuid O'Connor is the guilty party on that occasion, and he's just going to have a chat with him. I think probably just a yellow card. Here's the black card incident, we think, Mark.
This is Gavin White bursting forward.
Yeah. An attempted pull down, and he does pull him down. So technically, referee is spot on.
Yeah, technically, I suppose, you know, both black cards a bit harsh in my opinion, but if you are following it by the letter of the law, it is a black card. But again, you think Paddy McGrath would probably feel hard done by there.
Goalposts, 2 frees.
Here comes the free from Kieran Thompson. This one is going away to the left-hand side, and despite the best efforts of Oisin Gallen inside there, it's tail to the left-hand side and wide. So 4.5 to go, plus whatever is going to be added. Kerry leading by 6 points. Those 2 goals, Sean O'Shea, and the second from Gavin White. And the second goal, probably the highlight of this game, without doubt, from Gavin White so far. The difference between the 2 sides.
Yeah, the electric pace that he has. We saw it last weekend against Monaghan, and what a goal. And
short kick out from
people
Shane Ryan
talk about the likes of Jack
movement.
McCaffrey. He's bringing that pace to the game now that Jack McCaffrey has. And if we have a player of that calibre,
great effect, backfires
he has so much ability in him. He's on the ball here again, and he's been excellent to start the game.
He sure has. Tyke Morley as well deserves a mention back there, but Gavin White both of them involved in scoring, setting up, scoring, and finishing themselves, as well as Micheál Burns holding this one up. Back to Tom O'Sullivan. Point for him in this game so far.
And it goes back to
That's Diarmuid O'Connor holding up the possession of it again, and Micheál Burns. And Kerry now just happy enough to play this possession game, as Ronan Buckley has it now. Looks up for the option. Back to Tom Sullivan. Now Sean O'Shea again. A goal and a point for him so far, as there's a bit of space opening up, and Tyke Morley sees that space in front of him. Back towards Tom Sullivan on the attacking 45 almost now, or Kerry looking up again to try and get the perfect passes. Sean O'Shea again weaves past one. O'Shea dinks this ball in just over the head of Darren Moynihan. First occasion, gathers it second time. Moynihan holding up 2 Donegal men around him. One of them is Andrew McLean, just trying to shepherd him towards that far sideline and away from what's the perceived danger area, as Kerry work this one back again with Diarmuid O'Connor. Now Kerry have 14 men inside the half as Peter Crowley comes forward. Crowley kicks that one in, but that has gone left and wide. But they're not afraid to swarm forward, or Kerry.
No, and there's a lot more urgency about him in this quarter. We see, for the first time, I think we saw the whole of the Kerry defenders pushed up, and we could see Shane Ryan shouting and roaring to get fellas' bodies back. But no, there has been more of an urgency with Kerry. Poor kick out again by Donegal.
Yeah, Kerry capitalised. David Clifford pops this one towards the far side. Diarmuid O'Connor, Clifford back to O'Connor. O'Connor with the left boot, but that has gone right and wide. Let off there for Donegal, and O'Connor will be disappointed with that one. But it is a let-off for the Donegal keeper, Sean Patton, who's not for the first time. His kick-out went astray there.
Yeah, there was an occasion there for Kerry, two bad wides in a row there, and a small bit sloppy, particularly when they've all in possession.
And they were the first two wides that Kerry have had in this game as well. So two sloppy wides just before half-time as Dado O'Boyle for Donegal brings this past the halfway line towards the attacking 65 now. Looks up. Kerry fumbling numbers back and easily won back there again, and let's see now how quickly they turn defence into attack as Sean O'Shea sweeps this forward towards Gavin White. One goal to his name so far. What a goal that was too on the 21. Now towards Tony Brosnan, back across the centre. Brosnan gets the return hand pass, kicks this with the left boot. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful from Tony Brosnan. That is his third point of the afternoon here, and that a delightful score.
It's the movement when he gives the ball to Paul Murphy. His movement straight after. He loses his direct opponent, and Paul Murphy puts a lovely pass into him. Tony Brosnan has been outstanding in this first half today.
Most players would, once they've passed the ball, would say, well, that's kind of my job done now, it's up to you. But it's the movement of the Kerry forwards, and the backs that are coming forward seem as at ease to move forward as do the forwards.
Yeah, and like, you know, you're dead right, and you've seen the balance, the likes of Gavin White, Paul Murphy getting up the field, and then Tony Brosnan on the other side.
Oisin Gallen for Donegal now. They're looking for a score that they desperately need just before half-time. Down the far side again, they're holding up possession of it.
Satisfied to retain possession.
And again, the pass is popped off as far as Caelan McGonigal bursts forward through the Kerry defence. Shot! It goes over the crossbar. McGonigal went forward there and went to try and get a goal, but he just went through the Kerry defence that little bit easy. And from their point of view, from a Donegal point of view, he'd be disappointed it didn't go under, but a big let-off for Kerry.
Wasn't that far away.
Great score by Caelan McGonigal, badly needed just before half-time, but he's really working hard as well, and that should definitely have been in the back of the net. 2
additional minutes to be added on, according to the fourth official on the far side, so we're in the first of those 2 minutes now, as Shane Ryan's kick out is gathered down that far side again by Kerry. Back towards Paul Murphy. David Moran. There's this one towards this near side, and again Tadhg Morley pops the pass towards Ronan Buckley, and Morley just continues his run, just on top of everything that we said there. David Clifford looks up for the option now, just inside the Donegal half, back towards Diarmuid O'Connor. Down that far side now with Jason Foley, the man who was black carded a little earlier in this first half. As Kerry just holding up possession of it now, looks as though we're going to reach the half-time. Counting down the clock is Paul Murphy, past halfway towards the attacking 65. He goes forward with this one, still Paul Murphy. Past one Donegal man, brought to ground. The referee has said going to be a free opportunity here for Kerry. And this would be, of their 2-8 that they've scored, this would be their first from a dead ball.
Yeah. Again, the urgency from Paul. I don't think there was much in that either, to be fair, but it's a great chance now for David Clifford to put 7 points between the teams coming in before half-time.
Clifford has been scoreless so far, but this is an opportunity to get off the scoreboard, which is exactly what he does. First score for him. Kerry now lead by 7 as we approach half-time, and that should be pretty much about that. But Clifford's first score.
Yeah, and Clifford going to take the talking about it before the game that Steve McMenamin picked him up in Croke Park for the Super 8s last year and did a very good job on him, and he's doing a very good job on him here again today.
Hefty challenge there going in on Caelan Ward as he won possession of that. Nothing too serious from Ronan Buckley, referee decides. Just a free, and Kerry sweep up possession of it again with Tom O'Sullivan dragged around. Referee awards the free. The 2 minutes of additional time have now elapsed, so we're into the discretion of Conor Lane now as Kerry sweep forward again, and we can see from where we are their bodies just sweeping forward, the blue jerseys, as Tony Brosnan kicks this one in, but on this occasion it took a deflection, I think, off the Donegal man, as the umpire is saying. Everybody looks a bit bemused, including referee Conor Lane, but the umpires decided signalling for a 45, so this will pretty much be the last taste of action. Yeah, Sean O'Shea will probably take this one.
Sorry, Liam. Tony Brosnan looking for his 5th point there. I think, you know, we talk about, I played in the full back line, so I know the movement that inside forwards make. I've been watching him closely in this first half. His movement off the ball has been phenomenal. The way he makes himself available, particularly when he sees players in the half forward line wanting to deliver that ball, he's been outstanding, and that's a huge plus for Peter Keane facing into the championship.
Sean O'Shea, a dead ball artist, some people will say. This 45 is into the teeth of what is a strong enough breeze here as well. So an opportunity here now for Sean O'Shea as he kicks this one high into the sky, but unfortunately it's gone from a Kerry point of view to the right hand side and wide. We're at half time. Kerry have a 7-point lead, and Mark, well, it was a real tale of 2 quarters in that opening half, but Kerry overall will be happy.
Yeah, Kerry will be happy. Started poorly. I think the momentum that the water break, the momentum changer, as we've been calling it since it came in, has been huge. And I think Kerry have really, they drove on in the second quarter, and but badly needed.
Half-time here at Austin Stacks Park in Tralee. Kerry by 7. It's Kerry 2-9. Donegal 8 points. We'll have a break. We'll have first half analysis right after this.
And looking on for 2 weeks. For Donegal, it's slightly different because they have 2 eyes on next weekend. Rory mentioned it there himself just before the throw-in, or just before at half-time. He mentioned about the journey, the 900k, you know, round trip, and obviously, you know, Donegal have rested some key players who would be very influential if they were out there today.
Well, referee Conor Lane just wants everybody to be moved within the requisite distance ahead of the second half. So we're just all ready to rock and roll for the second half. Underway.
It's all to play for.
Kerry and Donegal. Kerry halfway towards claiming this National Football League Division 1 title in a year that I don't think anybody will forget too quickly, as Sean O'Shea looks to get Kerry off to the perfect start. A goal and a point in the first half, but just a wide inside 18 seconds. And just what Kerry would have wanted to sweep forward inside the opening minute, but not the result.
Yeah, we saw Darragh O'Boyle there getting back from the half-forward line, getting back to be that extra defender very quickly as soon as that ball was thrown in. But Kerry will hope to make grounds now, especially with this strong breeze in the second half.
Well, you see, Donegal made a change at half-time. Patter Morgan, who was due to start, has come on in place of Caelan Ward. That's the only change at half-time. So Kerry, as they started the game and as they finished the first half, and here they come looking for yet another score again. David Clifford pops this as far as Sean O'Shea. Down that far side now, it's Micheál Burns.
Going forward.
Further up towards Tony Brosnan. What a first half he had. 4 points from play in that opening 35 minutes. As the ball back now as far as Peter Crowley. Looking to start it again. David Moran from the 65, trying to get the perfect pass. That's beautiful take, and the advanced mark are awarded to Sean O'Shea. And O'Shea will fancy his chances of knocking this between the uprights from the mark. Here he comes, midway between the 45 and 21. Breeze beginning to swirl now around Tralee, and just as I say it, Sean O'Shea puts that to the left-hand side and wide. It was blowing down into the goal away to our left-hand side. It's now beginning to swirl a small little bit, Mark.
Yeah, and I suppose he won't be happy with that, having missed 2 and the 45 before half-time. Something that we don't usually come to see from a player of the calibre of Sean O'Shea, but no doubt the footballer that he is, he'll get that right.
He'll look to take the next one a free or 45, no doubt, from distance, and he'll look to rectify that as Donegal start from well inside their own half now. Paddy McGrath brought to ground, the man who was black carded before half time, so he's back on. So both teams back to their full complement now, having each had a black card. Be 2 cornerbacks, Jason Foley for Kerry and Paddy McGrath for Donegal, both black carded in the opening half. And Donegal just almost find themselves impossible to try and get out of their own defensive 45-yard line as Kerry push up on them. Diarmuid O'Connor putting the pressure there, but Kieran Thompson is back to gather possession on his own 45, tries a crossfield ball to a bit of space. There you see perhaps the effect of the breeze. The Donegal player had to track back to win possession of it, and Stephen McManaman pops this off to Jack McKelvey. Gets the return hand pass again, just can't control it. Goes to ground, but Donegal still in possession of it. Crossing the far side, looking to play a low ball this time. Forward towards Paddy McGrath. Back again, holding on to possession of it now. It's Oisín Gallen, 1 point to his name. That from a free in the opening half. Brought to ground, no free forthcoming. Kerry just have numbers back there. 13 men now. Kerry have back there behind the ball as Donegal forced to go back as far as the attacking 65. Referee plays an advantage as Andrew McLean comes forward to the attacking 45. Jason McGee on his shoulder. Pops it near side towards Peadar Morgan on at half-time. Back towards Oisín Gallen. That's a beautiful score. That's more like it from Donegal, and playing against the breeze seems to suit them that little bit better. What a score from Gallen.
Fantastic score from Gallen. Excellent forward. But, you know, it was such patient play from Donegal. They weren't pulling the trigger. They waited until there was a player in the right position. It was still a hard kick for Oisín to take on, but with the outside of the boot, a fantastic finish.
Much like what we saw for Kerry in the opening half, the patient build-up, and it worked with a fine score from Oisín Gallen, and perhaps score of the game from a Donegal point of view so far. This ball played forward. The referee was watching a bit of pulling of the jersey. Brendan McCall is the guiltiest of the two inside there, and Tony Brosnan, he's had a fine game, Mark, inside there. 4 points in that first half, and he's drawn the free there on that occasion too.
Yeah, I already mentioned his movement off the ball, but also
one of them, two of them, I think.
Could have gone the other way, to be honest.
Yeah, it could have been a cute Kerry man there, but look, he's very strong, and I spoke about his movement off the ball, but he's been a revelation so far in the last two games.
Point to his credit
today,
so far.
He's really upped his performance from the last day, kicking 3 points the last day and 4 today.
Well, Sean O'Shea missed one at the start of the second half. I mentioned he might want to take the first free after it. He has, and he's put it between the uprights. Confidence oozing through the veins there of Sean O'Shea. That's a goal and 2 points for him. But again, Tony Brosnan probably deserved the free. You tell everybody from a young age, be out in front of your man, and 9 times out of 10 you'll win the free.
Yeah, and like the ability to be able to hold a man off with one hand, he's shown that he's gone physically stronger as well. You know, so as I say, a real find for Kerry. We've been speaking about, harping on about it here in Kerry, how good he's been in county championship games, shooting the lights out, kicking 114 and 211, these massive scores. So it was inevitable that he was going to be on the Kerry team. Donegal looked as if they have an injury here, something they won't want for next weekend.
Well, here it is, we'll just see. I think it might have been an awkward landing. Up he goes, and it was well won by Brendan McCall, in fairness, but it was the way he landed, I think, more so than anything else. Just they won't want any injuries. Donegal came here with just 23 players named on the squad, and I suppose they very much have their eyes, you know, that victory last weekend ensured that they were going to be safe. That's a yellow card as well, by the way. I think it was Tyke Morley that picked that one up for the challenge on Brendan McCall, but we'll confirm that in just a second. It was Paul Murphy, yeah.
Good work by Eamon Doherty.
We'll just double check that just to be sure, but it is a yellow card anyway for the Kerry man. The referee has now awarded a free in. Couple of steps taken too far. Yeah, it is Paul Murphy. We can confirm that has picked up that yellow card, and there he is in shot for the challenge on Brendan McCall. So this is going to be a free in for Kerry now, leading by 7 points.
Bit of a surprise.
And there's confirmation of that yellow card for Paul Murphy. Free taken by Clifford. Sent inside. What can Kerry manufacture here now? Micheál Burns hasn't scored in this game. Won't score either. He was half blocked down, I think, as he attempted to play that one inside, as Jake McKelvey comes away with this one now for Donegal across on that far side. Now towards Michael Langan. Ends up on the deck under pressure from two Kerry men. Kieran Thompson picks up possession of it. He's been Donegal's top scorer, 4 points in that first half. Oisín Gallen pops this pass off as far as Jason McGee. McGee looks up for the option, finds it on the shoulder there from Peadar Morgan. Back again towards McGee, tight to the sideline, gets the ball away as far as Caelan McGonigal. 1 point the first half for him. Gets the return hand pass. That was the run that he had at the Kerry defence in that first half. Dara O'Boyle has been overcarried, says the referee. Free going in favour of Kerry, and the Kerry defence will take a massive boost from that.
Yeah, great defending by Kerry, very disciplined, and they frustrated Donegal there and turned over a great ball. And it's great to see Stephen O'Brien warming up on the sideline as well, just coming back at the right time, and he'll be a huge addition to this Kerry team. It looks as though Kerry will be making 2 or 3 subs. I think there's 2 lads over there. It could be Jack Barry as well.
And probably the time to do it as well. They have the couple of weeks. This game, I won't say it's done and dusted, but it looks a long way back now at this stage for Donegal. So it is an opportunity for Peter Keane to give game time. Jack Barry is just coming on, as you can see there. Off is going David Moran, and also coming on is Stephen O'Brien that has come on as well.
Yeah, it's
2 substitutions.
Probably empty the bench
Jack
now
Barry
and give a few fellas a run out. But it'd be great for me. I'd love to see Paddy Clifford getting the game, because you know every fella who's listed on the team has seen National League time, but Paddy hasn't. So I'd love to see him. We've seen what he can do at county championship level as well. It'd be great to see him doing with Kerry.
So Kerry just keeping it options open, making the first couple of changes in this game as Ronan Buckley pops this one towards Jason Foley down that far side. First taste of action then for Jack Barry. Pops the pass towards fellow substitute Stephen O'Brien, and further up now, brought forward by Paul Murphy. On he goes onto the attacking 45, gets the pass away. Left boot here of Clifford is in. Oh, he's in a league of his own. He's in a league of his own. David Clifford looked as though it was impossible. You'd watch that all day.
Yeah, and that's the thing with David Clifford. He was quiet in the first half, but look, you never keep a player of his ability quiet, because he'll pop up at anywhere. And just I spoke before the game about his temperament. For a fellow who's playing, I would say, just quiet, to be able to do stuff like that, it's just, he's on a different level.
That's just class. And as we say, a quiet game. No score from play up until that, but what a way to get your first score from play. Andrew McLean from Donegal, meanwhile, brings this one clear, and it's the aforementioned Clifford putting him under pressure. That's a hefty shoulder from Darragh Moynihan. Donegal, though, just holding up, doing well to keep possession of that. Caelan Ward under pressure down that far side, and Kerry really swarming in now on the Donegal defenders as they come away with this one. And that's Paddy McGrath, gets the pass away.
Here in this game.
And Kerry sensing that there's more here for them. Foul on Dara O'Boyle by his opposite number, Gavin White. That's going to be a free. Donegal making a substitution on the far side. Stephen McMenamin is the man to make way. And Owen McHugh is coming on in his place. So that's the substitution for Donegal on that far side. There you see McMenamin making his way off the field.
Stephen McMenamin.
And being replaced by Owen McHugh. There he is. Taste of action for him, and a chance for Donegal, I suppose, to freshen it up as well, Mark.
Yeah, handy enough start for me. Only has to go in on David Clifford.
Why not? Here it comes then from Dara O'Boyle. Nice easy task to mark Clifford on a day like today. Ball now with Owen McHugh down that far side. There's this one back.
Caelan McGonigal.
Donegal just holding it up on the 45. Kieran Thompson finding a bit of space, looking to attack the Kerry 21-yard line. There he's held up, and that's beautiful little flick away, and Kieran Thompson. Oh, that's a beautiful score from Thompson. Looked as though there was no way through the Kerry defence. Somehow managed to get through it with a little dummy. Beautiful finishes, divine too.
Yeah, he's been outstanding today. You know, you're looking at positives for Donegal. Kieran Thompson has really stood up, and you know, he's kicked with his right, kicked with his left. He's been a revelation today. I think, you know, Donegal as well. Declan Bonner is looking at, he took off Stephen McMenamin there. I think he's probably possibly resting fellas for next weekend as well. He probably thinks this game is gone and give fellas a rest, because, as I say, not only one eye but 2 eyes on Tyrone next weekend.
Well, that was the 5th point of the afternoon for Kieran Thompson. 3 from play and 2 from frees, and certainly Donegal have kicked off a couple of very nice scores in this second half so far. As Tom Sullivan now for Kerry. holding up possession of this one, who have a 7-point lead. And of course, victory here at Austin Stacks Park in Tralee, good enough for Kerry to be crowned Division 1 champions, beaten in last year's final, of course, by Mayo. But no finals this year as Clifford comes forward with this one, holding up possession of it, looking forward. He was fouled. The referee had said he was playing the advantage, and Clifford just turned to Conor Lane and said, "I'll take the free, thank you very much." And that's exactly what he's going to do, and he's going to take it himself as well, down that far side. So Clifford looks to the target. Here he comes. Left boot from David Clifford. He knew the second it left his boot that was swinging way to the left-hand side and wide. So the gap still at 7. 12, almost 13 minutes of the second half played here. 7-point lead for Kerry. And looking good, you'd have to say, for that Division 1 title.
Short kick out again from Donegal.
And I suppose a nice warm-up ahead of Cork. The old rivals down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh in 2 weeks' time in the Munster Championship. Certainly one to look forward to.
Good ball
as Kerry back there again now. Jason Foley out in front of his man, finds the support from Paul Murphy. And this one back to Tyke Morley. And now on this near side to Gavin White. And
over towards Gavin White.
The remaining few minutes of this game, 20-odd minutes, Kerry will try and get as much game time into the legs as they can, as Gavin White comes up this near side of the field. He's already got one goal from half back. What a goal that was in that first half. The hand pass a bit too much on it, but Sean O'Shea does well to hold on to it and takes the sensible option back to Tyke Morley. And now to Diarmuid O'Connor. And Kerry will start down the far side this time. Jason Foley.
Paul
back
Murphy.
Inside towards Stephen O'Brien. Diarmuid O'Connor onto the 45. Beautiful hands from Kerry.
And that
Clifford, 45 yards out.
Clifford.
At ease, puts it between the uprights.
Special raw talent.
3rd point of the game for David Clifford. We said he was quiet in the first half. 2 beautiful points from play in the second half.
Yeah, and the big thing there for me, there was 15 players behind the 65 by Donegal. But when you have a player that can kick long-range kicks like that, and with the win that you have and the accuracy, that's going over the bar. And fantastic score by Clifford.
Jack McKelvey.
Certainly on top of his game. And
goalkeeper Sean Patton is available.
Kerry will be hoping that continues into November and beyond. Christmas week, Kerry probably have their eyes on playing as well for a revamped championship campaign, but certainly if they can get Clifford into any game on any given day, Clifford can become unmarkable. Donegal did well in the first half to keep him quiet, but Owen McHugh down that far side under pressure. Look at that, the hunger that's being shown by the 2 Kerry players. I think it was Jack Barry and Sean O'Shea, and they forced a turnover and a quick line ball taken forward as well to Tony Brosnan. 4 points for him in the first half. Back to Brosnan. 5 points for him in this game. First of the second half, but again it goes to the work rate that Kerry did in the far side.
Yeah, fantastic work rate. We have our water break now, but the momentum breakers, as I call them. But great work rate by Kerry, by Jack Barry. Fantastic off the ball. Just, you know, that's something that Peter Keane has really instilled into this Kerry team, and it's throughout the whole field. We saw Kerry developing, Donegal pushing Kerry back here, back to their own midline, and Kerry changed the trajectory of the play. And you know, it's fantastic when you have players that can think on their feet like that.
9-point lead for Kerry at the water break here as we wait for the second quarter of this. And don't forget, plenty of live rugby coming up on Pro 14 action. Today we have Ospreys in Glasgow here on Air Sport 1. That's from 5:25 this evening. And tomorrow, Ulster, well, they entertain the Dragons. 5 to 3, our coverage begins tomorrow. And then, of course, on also tomorrow, Edinburgh against Connacht. That on Air Sport 1 as well, 7:30, an absolute feast of rugby. And on Monday evening, and looking forward to this one as Monday night rugby starts, Munster against Cardiff Blues from Thomond Park. Our coverage beginning at 7:45. Tommy and the lads will have a nice busy few days ahead of them as we look forward to plenty of games to look forward to. Kerry, a 9-point lead here, Mark, and look, I suppose they have 1.5 hands of David Clifford on that league trophy already.
Yeah, I suppose they do. Yeah, there's 9 points, and you'd expect Kerry to push on at this stage. Last weekend they had a good lead against Monaghan, and Monaghan did bring that back, and it was close in the last few minutes of the game. So that's something I'm sure Peter Keane has been talking to his players about there to make sure that they finish this game out strong now. Donegal, on the other hand, you know, I think the big thing that Declan Bonner will just want is his players available for next weekend, and that he will have no injuries, and that's a key thing for Donegal for next weekend.
And probably hoping that a few of the Donegal players here, maybe in the last quarter, might put their hand up for selection for next week, and if they get over that a little later in the championship as well, because there are quite a lot of the second strength Donegal team, if you want to call them that, here on show.
Well, that's it, and you know, if you get the opportunity, we see maybe 7 or 8 players getting their chance today, and it's a huge and then a few more fellas coming off the bench, so it's a huge opportunity for them to put their hand up and even finish this game out strong now in the last quarter.
Ethan O'Donnell has come on in the water break there. You see him.
To their side.
He is on the field of play for Donegal for the last 20 odd minutes or so. So play resumes with the kick out, which goes long
Kerry
down the centre. And Kerry picking up possession of it. Jason McGee and Jamie Brennan have both gone off. And Niall O'Donnell and Ethan O'Donnell, as you can see, the players on for the remainder of this game here.
He's taking up residence down
Donegal very much with an eye and a half, 2 eyes on that game next weekend, as the advanced mark is called inside there. And here's an opportunity for Kerry, and that man Tony Brosnan, 5 points to his name so far. This from the mark is sent in, make that 6 points. He's a good attacking option that Kerry have up front as well, Mark, and one that people have to keep an eye on over the course of championship, however long it lasts for any county, but especially Kerry. Yeah,
well, look, Dublin are the benchmark, Liam. They have inside forwards of the calibre of Con O'Callaghan, Paul Mannion, Dean Rock. You know, Kerry now not only have David Clifford, but they've Tony Brosnan, and they've Paul Ganey to come back from injury. They've James O'Donoghue to come back. So plenty of options for Peter Keane, and there'll be a huge competitive edge to training to try and get those 3 jerseys.
Paddy McGrath just about keeps it in play, and for his efforts he has Gavin White up against him, but McGrath still in possession. Looks longingly to referee Conor Lane, and his looks have been answered as the free is taken. Michael Langan off to Dara O'Boyle. Forward again now is Donegal through Ethan O'Donnell in possession. First taste of action for him, but again just finds the Kerry challenge on him a little too much, as David Clifford won't get to that one. Instead, Brendan McCole picks up possession of it
and lays it back.
And McCole plays this one towards that goalkeeper again, Sean Patton.
Sean Patton
holding this one up and looking for the perfect pass, and Niall O'Donnell just left the football behind him, but he'll be glad that there was no Kerry man picking that up, but he's still under pressure, but they bring this one away now.
Kerry putting the pressure on them.
Kerry off on this near side of the field, or Donegal on the attacking now. Peadar Morgan
scored a cracking goal against Tyrone last week.
Playing this one forward to Kieran Thompson.
Up towards
Thompson inside now towards Oisin Gallen.
Corner forward,
Gallen tight towards this near side under a bit of pressure. Gallen plays this one towards Kieran Thompson.
Wow.
That's going to be a sweet effort.
Going to drop short. Goalkeeper comes out with the fist. That would have been a delightful point had that sailed over the crossbar, but it didn't, as Kerry now come away with this one, bringing it clear towards that far side of the field now, past halfway, on towards the attacking 45-yard line. This one is played inside now, won by Dara Moynihan, looking up for the option. Moynihan fists this one forward towards Sean O'Shea on the 21-yard line.
Kerry looking sharp.
Holding this one up down towards Tony Brosnan, back across the centre now towards David Clifford. Clifford with the left boot, sending it in, but goes to the left-hand side and wide. We could potentially, Mark, have seen 2 super scores, one on either side. One into the goalkeeper's hands and the other wide from Clifford.
Yeah, and in the middle of that, we had Oisin Gallen, an absolute outrageous kick that I thought was going over the bar, but it didn't have the distance. So Donegal they're still fighting away. As I said beforehand, those players are still fighting for positions for next weekend maybe, so they want to impress. But Kerry, you feel just in third gear really. my own club mate Bruno Begley is in now, and he'll be also trying to stake a claim on his Kerry team.
Gavin Crowley is joining on the field of play as well. Gavin White and Ronan Buckley, the two to make way for Kerry. So both sets of managements ringing the changes, and you feel this game is going to come out for its inevitable conclusion as Michael Langan plays this ball forward on towards Oisín Gallen. He does well, winning possession of it tight to the sideline, puts it over the head of the Kerry defender and gets it back himself, does Gallen. Still in possession of it, pops this ball back, but easily gathered back there by Kerry, who have the numbers. And Peter Crowley inside his own half will look to set up another attack now. Kerry look as though they're heading towards league title number 21. Bruno Begley, first taste of action for him. Pops it back towards Darragh Moynihan. Long ball sent forward inside there. Gathered again by Kerry, now towards Sean O'Shea. And O'Shea looks up for the options, holding on to possession of it. Option on this near side is Gavin Crowley. He's the man that's in possession of it. Crowley looks up, continues his run as he lays it towards Stephen O'Brien, who's under pressure. That's the pass towards Diarmuid O'Connor. Holding it up again, or Kerry. That's David Clifford. Playing this one back into the open space. That's Tyke Morley.
He's coming up from the
full back just line. Holding it up now. So Thomas Sullivan in no real panic. Donegal with 14 men behind the ball now.
South Kerry and West
Kerry try to find that magic pass that will make a hole in that Donegal defence. They can just run through it as well. Off towards Clifford. Clifford has it, shot from Clifford, and it goes over the crossbar. Well, they were trying to pass their way through, and eventually off to David Clifford, and he puts it over as opposed to under.
Yeah, great ball by Bruno Begley. He was soling the ball through. I didn't know where he was going to go with it, but he saw Clifford peel off, and it was a fantastic pass in the end.
Kick out then from Sean Patton down this near side, gathered by Michael Langan, awarded the mark. And now
credit to Michael Langan.
Donegal, well, it's a long trek back for them, back up to Donegal from one end of the country to the other for them to fulfill this fixture. And certainly, as we've mentioned numerous times, their eyes very much on what is going to be an enthralling Ulster Championship encounter against Tyrone next weekend. Hard to imagine that either Tyrone or Donegal will be gone from Championship by the end of next weekend.
That's the thing, and that's you can understand then why Declan Bonner is leaving most of his star players at home, the likes of Michael Murphy and these lads. But the lads who have played, in particular the likes of Kieran Thompson, very impressive. Stephen McManaman, it'll be a great game next weekend.
Niall O'Donnell bringing this one forward. On towards the 21, kicks this with the right boot. That is going way to the left-hand side. I don't think it'll even go wide. Well, it will eventually, almost at the corner flag when it does go wide. 12 and a bit minutes left here, and Kerry by 11 points. And Kerry do, as we mentioned, have the benefit of that extra week's break ahead of the Munster Championship game. Something would they prefer though to be a bit like Donegal and play next weekend, or will that break do them the world of good?
No, I think they'll enjoy the break. There won't be any break for them, but it'll give them a chance to recharge the batteries. But look, some outstanding performances by Kerry today, particularly the second quarter on. Tom Sullivan, Paul Murphy, Gavin White in particular. You've Sean O'Shea and Tony Brass and David Clifford. Outstanding performances from Kerry. On the flip side from Donegal, Kieran Thompson really probably stood out from a Donegal point of view, but didn't have the support that he will have next weekend.
Jason Foley towards that far side, and Kerry still looking. They're not finished yet. They'll want to finish this game with a flurry, and Darragh Moynihan kicks this one. He knew the minute it left him it's not going to work out. Clifford does well to keep it in play, but it's gathered by Brendan McCall, and off towards the defensive unit now for Donegal to start from deep inside their own half through cornerback Paddy McGrath. Picked up a black card what seemed like an age ago when Donegal were ahead by 1 point midway, or just coming up to the first water break. But really, once the game swung on its head with 2 goals in 3 minutes, the first from Sean O'Shea and the second from Gavin White, that 3-minute period in that first half when Kerry went down to 14 men really just changed the complexion of this game completely. As Michael Langan brings this one forward towards the attacking 45, being held up there referee, I was going to say didn't see a free, but he did eventually. It was Gavin Crowley who's the guilty party on that occasion.
Free for Donegal.
It's going to be Michael Langan.
Just inside
going to leave this to Kieran Thompson. 5 points to his name so far in this game. And as Mark said, one of the ones for Donegal that certainly has impressed. And this one into the breeze. 2 frees and 3 from play. A breeze that is still, judging by the flags to our left-hand side, as stiff as ever.
Stepped up to the
as
challenge
here it comes
this
from Kieran Thompson with the left boot, starting
to
to the left, dropping. Goalkeeper gets a
comes off
good
his goal
fist
line.
to it, but
still alive for
after
Donegal,
that then, as it's picked up there by Oisín
Gallen.
Gallen.
Nice
Gallen kicks this one in, it hits the upright and comes back down.
Boot hits the post.
And Donegal, well,
and Kerry
they were hoping to get that one, but Kerry breathe a sigh of relief as they come away now from inside their own half. 9.5 minutes left here. Kerry, won't say coasting to victory, but certainly comfortable, Mark.
Yeah, and you know, the big thing I spoke about, some players who performed very well, but also from the bench, and Peter King will be very happy with the likes of Gavin Crowley, Bruno Begley, Jack Barry and Stephen O'Brien. The work rate that they've brought since they've come in, and we see Tommy Welsh warming up on the sideline. It looks like he'll be coming in as well. The work rate has been phenomenal from those players coming off the bench.
Well, good to see him getting game time as well, ahead of what is that Munster Championship provincial derby against old rivals Cork down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh for Kerry.
Peter Crowley.
On that far side now, they're holding up possession of it. Diarmuid O'Connor.
Back to O'Connor once more.
And in normal times, I suppose, if you like, the sight of Tommy Walsh on the sideline would generate a huge buzz around the place. But, of course, this game being played, like all others, behind closed doors. As this game brought forward
Donegal
now again.
win it back to Darrow Bouye.
Donegal holding up again. Michael Langan back inside his own half back line to Kieran Thompson. Back down that far side again. As Donegal come away with this one on the 65-yard line. Pass away finds Kieran Thompson again. And now they come forward looking to get a score or two before the end of this game to take something back ahead of that huge clash next weekend. Niall O'Donnell named to start, but came on as a substitute at half-time. Andrew McLean on towards the 45-yard line, gets the pass away towards Peadar Morgan. Again, another man that was named to start. Didn't. Lays it back now again towards O'Donnell, further inside now. Ethan O'Donnell. O'Donnell holding this one up, gets the pass away towards Andrew McLean. His opposite number has picked that one up. Bruno Begley drawn the foul, free going in favour of Kerry.
Good work on this occasion
is
by the
Kerry aforementioned Tommy Walsh about to come on. Donegal though making a substitution first. On is coming Conor O'Donnell, and it looks as though it's Oisín Gallen that's going off right far side, taking off the gloves, making his way to the far side. There's Oisín Gallen. 2 points in the game, a free and a point from play, and he is replaced by Conor O'Donnell. Kerry, meanwhile, have also made the change.
Kerry had 13 players. Tommy Walsh, yeah. Kerry had 13 players behind the ball there that time. Again, Liam, something that we spoke about before the game of a difference in game plan by Peter Keane, and it's something I think that they have one eye on, maybe Cork with their running game, and very effective there again, and very disciplined in the tackle.
So Tommy Walsh is on for Kerry. Jack Barry.
Paul Murphy.
You see confirmation of that Kerry change. As this one now with Gavin Crowley down that far side. Forward it goes from Tadhg Morley. Pops the pass towards the far side, and again Kerry just holding up possession of it now.
Back to Morley once more.
On it goes inside now towards Clifford, being pulled back inside there, says the referee. It's going to be a free. David Clifford and Tommy Walsh both on the field of play. Defenders' nightmares, the two of them.
Kerry.
Yeah, and you just see again, I think you mentioned it about his physicality. We saw him able to hold a player off with one hand and winning the free. He's really upped it in the second half. David, we spoke about him being quiet in the first half, but again, you just get the feeling he's in third gear, you know, but just moments of flashes of brilliance from him.
Sean O'Shea to take the free. O'Shea with this free then.
Sean O'Shea with a simple tap
kicks
over
this
point.
one in and puts it between the uprights. Another one for him. That's a goal and 3 points now for Sean O'Shea. 2 points from frees and the goal and the point from play in that opening half. And 2 frees in this second half. Pushes Kerry 12 points to the good. 5 minutes plus whatever referee Conor Lane is going to add on here in beautiful resplendent sunshine in Tralee this afternoon. Long ball sent inside towards Tommy Walsh, away from him though, and brought away by Donegal, and Ethan O'Donnell it was that started it, and brings this one towards Dado O'Boyle. On towards the attacking 65, now towards the 45, still going O'Boyle. He's opposite number, Gavin White. The first half scored a goal from running from a similar angle. The referee has awarded a free. Michael Langan is going to take this one, crossing the far side. So Langan going to take this free towards the far side. 5 minutes plus whatever is going to be added on by referee Conor Lane here. Langan lines this one up, kicks it into the goal to our right-hand side, the Town goal, but that has gone to the left-hand side and wide. Just Donegal, the game petering it out to its inevitable conclusion of Kerry's victory, Mark.
Yeah, and I think one thing with Kerry is the work rate. It's there, constant, it's relentless, and that's the key feature for me in this second half has been the work rate. And I mentioned already the subs that came on, they've really driven it on.
There's one of them, Gavin Crowley, to another one, Stephen O'Brien. O'Brien going forward. They'll look to make a mark in Peter King's notebook as Tony Brosnan. He's had a super game since this one across the far side, trying to get David Clifford into it, but a bit too much on that one, on that occasion. It's 6 points for Brosnan in this game, but the referee has said an injury to the Donegal man on the far side. He's just held up play on the far side of the field.
The referee is waiting.
So with 4 minutes to go, Mark O'Shea, it's time to announce the Alliance man of the match, and plenty of contenders.
Yeah, plenty of contenders. You know, in the defence you had the likes of Tom O'Sullivan, Paul Murphy, Gavin White really drove it on. That wonder goal that he got in the second quarter of the first half was outstanding, and something that we look back on. You had Sean O'Shea, who had his moments, and David Clifford. But for me, the man of the match is Tony Brosnan. He was outstanding, you know, from start to finish. And he was a revelation today. He's kicked 3 points the last day. For me, hands down, outstanding man of the match. Tony Brosnan.
Outstanding
so Tony
for Kerry
Brosnan,
today.
our Alliance man of the match this afternoon.
From all angles.
Thoroughly deserving of it as well. But as Mark said, as he was going through the amount of players there that could have got it, it could have been any one of 11 or 12 Kerry players, let's be honest. And certainly they have been the dominant force here. Took them a while to get going, but my God, when they got going, it just looked like a well-oiled machine that Kerry in this game. As Peadar Morgan,
Sean Patton,
Morgan laying this one off
his goal line to lend a bit of assistance,
holding it back now towards Sean Patton.
The effort.
Patton pops the pass away towards this near side of the field, and Langan brings this one clear. Referee says he's fouled back inside his own 45. Free going in favour of Donegal.
Conor O'Donnell now
this one forward. Conor O'Donnell now off towards Kieran Thompson. Certainly would have been up there in contention from a Donegal man of the match point of view. 5 points for him in this game, Thompson, and there he is in possession of it again, going forward towards the attacking 45. Thought about the shot, scored a couple from long range in the first half, but that was the breeze at his back. That is taken away from them, and Kerry through Tommy Walsh back towards goalkeeper Shane Ryan, and Kerry coming away again on towards the 45-yard line. It's all just petering out, almost like a challenge game intensity at this stage, you'd have to say, but Kerry know the job is done. They've got the 2 points, which will in effect see them become champions. As Sean O'Shea comes forward with this one. They're looking to finish with a flurry though, as O'Shea weaves one way and the other. Beautiful score from Sean O'Shea, and that's the attacking options that Kerry have. You look at it, Sean O'Shea, Tony Brosnan, David Clifford, Tommy Walsh now on as well, and as you say, what's to come back as well from an attacking point of view for Kerry.
Yeah, and you have Stephen O'Brien as well, and you have we mentioned Paul Ganey and James O'Donnell to come back in.
Mark has just lost his voice. The excitement is getting too much for him up here. It's the fact that Kerry are going to be crowned the champions for the 21st time, I think, is just gotten the better of Mark beside us, but he'll be okay.
Has given everything.
Kerry or Donegal come away with this one, and Ethan O'Donnell pops it down that far side. Andrew McLean pass back inside again, finds Conor O'Donnell now towards Jason Key, off towards Caelan McGonigal. McGonigal towards Niall O'Donnell. He's been held up and opts to go backwards instead. That's Jake McKelvey, who started this afternoon's game. We're approaching stoppage time.
Over towards
trophy can very much be placed on the presentation area as Paddy Morgan lays it off as far as Eamon Doherty, flighting this one in.
It's 2 against 2
dropping
here.
dangerously inside there, but Sean O'Shea is back
Sean
there
O'Shea,
to
the number 11.
sweep up possession of it for Kerry.
Getting it out for Dermot O'Connor.
Off towards Dermot O'Connor. And Kerry
Morley
looking to build from well inside their own half again.
Paul Murphy instead.
4 additional minutes is the signal from the fourth official on the far side. I suppose there has been quite a lot of substitutions in this second half from both sets of management, so that's probably where the 4 minutes is coming from. A couple of injuries as well, but thankfully nothing too serious, as Dermot O'Connor looks to pick a perfect pass in towards the man of the match, Tony Brosnan. Beautiful ball towards David Clifford. Ball didn't bounce back to him, but it's just effortless for Clifford. He lost it initially, just picked it up and said, no panic, I'll slot it over the crossbar anyway. Delightful.
David Clifford makes it look
great score by Clifford. No, he's not going to get that amount of space against Cork in 2 weeks' time. But that said, fantastic, and just free-flowing football by Kerry in the second half, and the ball is being moved a lot quicker. That was something I was critical about in the first quarter, but they have been outstanding since the first quarter.
That's 4 from play for David Clifford, and well, all of them have come in this second half. As Donegal now, again, just in front of their own goals, bring this one clear. Dado O'Boyle looking to bring this one clear. It's almost a point to man at this stage, the lead for Kerry. They've just been utterly dominant, particularly in this second half. Really, since the water break in the first half, it's been pretty much all Kerry. As a foul on Dado O'Boyle. Takes the free himself up towards Ethan O'Donnell.
Ethan O'Donnell
comes away with this one towards the attacking 65. Pulled to ground there by Jack Barry.
Totally unnecessary.
Referee keeps the notebook in the pocket on this occasion as Michael Langan plays this one towards the far side. Donegal looking to finish with a flurry here. That's going to drop into the hands of the goalkeeper though, Shane Ryan. And easy for him, and nothing more frustrating from a manager's point of view to see a ball drop into a goalie's hands, especially that close.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, and but it's again, I just keep going back to it. It's the work rate by Kerry. We see Tommy Walsh going back to his own full back line there, putting pressure on the ball being kicked in. But it has been relentless by Kerry, and it's a big feature of Peter Keane's style that, you know, it's pressure when you don't have the ball.
Moves out to the midfield area.
It's Kerry now again through David Clifford, who's back in his halfway line towards Tony Brosnan down that far side. Brosnan just on the 21-yard line. Plays this one in towards Tommy Walsh. Back again. Plays this one inside, but it's going to drop into the hands of the goalkeeper. And I was saying it was frustrating at one end, it's frustrating at the other end as well, but Kerry do have the lead of 14 points, so they can afford that, but certainly they won't be able to afford it in 2 weeks' time. Plus, if championship continues on beyond that, from a Kerry point of view, the new structure is going to be brilliant. It's going to be entertaining to watch, and it's going to be end to end, and I would imagine what we saw in the first 10 or 15 minutes we might see a bit of in championship, but that's going to have to go up fairly quickly.
Yeah, but you mentioned it there yourself. It's going to be a championship again. It's going to be a championship, and always in my view was you know, last gap, this is it, you know, do or die, and that's what's going to be so entertaining about it. Like, to think that next week, as you said already, Donegal or Tyrone will be gone out of the championship after one game, so that's going to bring a bite to it that you know, that hasn't been there, I suppose, when the back door was available.
Caleb McGonigal, Donegal look to finish with a flourish as that one is sent in, but it's gone to the right and wide off the boot of Ethan O'Donnell. The 4 minutes of stoppage time very nearly up as Conor Lane checks the 2 watches on the left wrist and the right wrist, and we could very well see the full-time whistle being blown soon enough. Shane Ryan is going to take this one. The referee puts the whistle to the lips And there is the full-time whistle. Kerry have done it. In the end, it was emphatic. A 14-point victory for Kerry. 218 to 10 points. Kerry will get the Alliance National Football League Division 1 trophy, Mark.
Yeah, and I see the steward bringing the cup in now in a box. I imagine there'll be no huge celebrations. The cup just going into the podium there. But look, getting back to the performance, Kerry had to come here and just get the 2 points to win the National League. I know that it was a huge thing for Kerry, for Peter Keane. I think it'll build confidence in these young players, particularly I mentioned our man of the match, Tony Brosnan. It will build confidence for him in particular. An outstanding day out for him. We saw glimpses of what he could do last weekend, and he really showed that he backed that up today with a man of the match performance. So look, from a Kerry point of view, job done. I think from Donegal's point of view, certainly they came here to be competitive, and they did that for the first half of the game. But I think the 2 goals killed Kerry really, or killed Donegal, I should say. Well,
it's finished here at Austin Park in Tralee, and Kerry have done it. They are the Division 1 champions. It's finished Kerry 2 goals and 18, Donegal 10 points. So good victory for Kerry, and as we say, job done from their point of view. They got the 14-point victory.